Hello, Tim from Fairplay now on the 13th of May 2024. So I was in the electrical wholesalers just now and getting a few bits and pieces, getting stocked up, including these lovely things, these Wago connectors. Got a load of new ones in there. Brilliant things these are. You just shove your sort of wires in there. Let's say all of your neutrals would go into those, and then the same for the other ones as well. And it's a very quick and easy way of making connections, so really speeds the job up. So I've got those. But while I was in the electrical wholesaler, because I'm not here to talk about connectors, I'm here to talk about the weird and wonderful world of politics and all of the rest of it. So I think it was BBC Radio 2 was on and the news was on, and they were saying how Sunak, the Prime Minister here in the UK, of course, was making a speech and kind of to do with the election, an election type of speech. And he was saying, putting across the message, only a Conservative government can protect you from the most dangerous years ahead, the most dangerous years yet to come. And very peculiar messaging, especially for an election speech. Normally they're talking about cutting taxes and making improvements to the economy or whatever. They're not talking about protecting us against dangers. So it leads me to think, what do they know that we don't? What are these dangers? Why are the coming years going to be so dangerous? And I would contend that it's governments who are the most dangerous things. If we didn't have governments, or we had very minimal government, I don't think we would be facing any danger whatsoever at all. Thank you very much. Of course, we know one area where this danger could well be coming from. Now, it seems to be something lots and lots of people are talking about. I noticed a certain Mr. Vobes was talking about it just very recently, and talking about a potential solution for it, believe it or not, as well. And of course, I'm referring to the noughts and crosses in the sky. I'm sure you probably know what I'm talking about. So that is a potential area of concern, and a reason why the government is so dangerous. And I will leave a link to Richard Vobes' video in the description box below. They talk about a solution which apparently, according to this guy he was interviewing, works, and it involves, of all things, would you believe, white vinegar. So very interesting, and got no idea if it works or not, but for the sake of a couple of quid for a bit of white vinegar and a method of heating it up slightly, which you have to do because you have to get it to evaporate, it may well be worth a go. So if you want to do that, leave a link, or you can leave a comment if you do give it a go, about your sort of results that you get in either a comment under this video here or another one, and I'll leave a link to that Richard Vobes video in the description box below as well. So one thing, or another way we can sort of spread awareness of this issue, is just by getting loads and loads of people to notice it and to start talking about it. And then that may well force the powers that shouldn't be to rethink things a little bit. And I've just had a bit of a brainwave. You might sort of think this is, rubbish, nonsense, it won't work. But what if we use the power of the mainstream narrative to bring awareness of this up? How do we do that? Well, I'm sure if you talk about this kind of thing to your friends and family, your sort of normie friends and family, you've just been called a crazy conspiracy theorist, you know, all of the sort of usual nonsense. Oh yeah, that's nothing, that's nothing. But what you could do is perhaps grab a few pictures, maybe ones you've taken yourself, you know, get the very obvious ones, the real noughts and crossy ones that you might have access to, and just start talking to people. And the spin you could put on it is blame it on the Russians. You know, God, yeah, look at that. Do you think that's the Russians? The Russians are attacking us in some way, dropping some weird kind of contaminant on us. Because after all, they did it a few years ago. They did that thing in Salisbury, didn't they? So they've got previous on this. And it's obviously nonsense. You know, we know who's really doing it. But if you said that to a normal person, they'd just, yeah, they wouldn't think of you as a conspiracy theorist, I don't think. They might think you're just a little bit slightly paranoid about, yeah, the whole Ukraine sort of Russian thing, but I don't think they would sort of call you crazy. And it might just get them thinking, you know, what are those things up there? So, yeah, just a little thought I had. I had that thought when I was responding to some emails, and it seems there's quite a few people up and down the country writing to their MPs about this issue as well. Of course, the MPs are just coming back and saying, oh no, there's nothing, they're just sort of normal contrails that planes normally put out. But, you know, it does show that there are people up and down the country writing to their MPs. There's lots of MPs, I should think, getting these sort of letters, so they can't deny it now, can they? They can't deny knowledge of this because we're telling them. So that in itself is a very useful step. But anyway, gonna leave it there. Like I say, I'll leave a link to that Richard Vobes video, and if you want to try out that sort of thing with white vinegar, please do tell me how you get on, and also tell me what you think about the you know, would the Russian thing be a good way of broaching the subject with ordinary everyday people out there? Tell me what you think in the comment section below. Tim from Fair Play Now, thanks for watching.